Welcome to the Unstoppable Eventrepreneur podcast once again. Thank you so much for giving me your time, your attention, your energy, and listening to our podcast week after week and sharing our podcast to other eventrepreneurs. Hopefully, I have been able to educate you, to inspire you, to motivate you to continue with this eventrepreneur journey. So today, we're going to talk about the 3 red flags to spot when speaking to a lead. I have been noticing that many event planners, designers, and decorators, they are spending too much time and energy responding to leads that are simply not qualified. What do I mean by qualified leads? Okay. Qualified leads are leads that are aware of how much you charge and they are willing to pay your fees. They know what they need help with and they are open to how you are going to help them, and they trust the entire process. That is my qualifier, of course, right? There are other qualifiers, but when I speak to a potential client, there are a few things I look out for in terms of buying signals and also in terms of red flags that will alert me not to continue the conversation anymore. That means not to spend my time and energy following up with this inquiry. Okay. And I also spot the buying signals. All right. So for me, in order to continue to respond to the questions asked by the potential client or the lead, I need to make sure that these 3 things, these 3 red flags do not happen in the conversation or do not come up in the conversation. Because if they do, I'm going to have to ask a lot more questions. And then I'm going to have to see what they have got to say to that. And then I will further evaluate whether I want to continue with the conversation. Okay. But I want to give you an overview of, first and foremost, the questions that I ask when I'm qualifying a lead, right? I always ask, what do you need help with? Okay. What do you need help with? So I have an idea if they know exactly what they need help with. And I also get to evaluate if I can actually help them, because they may be asking for something that is not in my wheelhouse or something that I don't want to do. So I always ask that question. Number 2, I always ask, have you tried to handle this yourself or talk to other planners, designers, decorators, friends and family to get help? Because I want to see how much time and energy and money they have already invested in trying to solve the problem themselves. And if they have already spent time, money, and energy trying to tackle the problem themselves and they could not, now they are reaching out for help, they are more inclined to want to hire help. Okay. And I always ask, how soon do you want to hire? Okay. How soon are you going to make a decision to hire? Because time kills all deals. If they have plentiful of time, they're going to shop around, they're going to overthink things, and then they will not come up with a decision. So urgency is extremely important. And one more I normally would ask is, where did you find my contact information? Where did you find me? Who referred you? Or what did you see on social media or website that prompt you to want to contact me? Because that gives me an indication of how much they know about what I do, who I am, and the results I deliver for my clients. Okay. So those are my qualifying questions. Now, after I ask the qualifying questions, then I will listen to what they have to say, and then I will spot the 3 red flags. Okay, I'll try to spot the 3 red flags, and that will allow me to decide whether do I want to continue with the conversation, either through phone call, Zoom, or through text message. And a lot of times it's through text message, DM through Instagram or Facebook Messenger, okay, or through LinkedIn. And what I'm sharing with you is through my personal experience, okay, through my personal experience. And I thank God I haven't have many experience with this type of inquiry, but from time to time, I'll get inquiries like this and I'll screenshot them and then I share it with the event entrepreneurs inside our paid community, our live support community, and I use it as a case study to guide them along on how to go about handling inquiries like this. So today I'm going to share with you a personal experience of mine when I was talking to an inquiry, and these red flags came up, and immediately after some back and forth, I decided not to follow up. Okay, what are those 3 red flags? When I asked the qualifying questions, all right, and then the conversation came around to, okay, what do you need help with? And then they tell me what they need help with. And then somehow the conversation came out that they say something like, who and who on my team? Okay, someone on my team. All right, if let's say it's a corporate client, someone on my team is an event planner. Or if you're doing a social event, my friend, my BFF, my cousin, my aunt is a decorator. So or designer, okay, event designer. So if someone tells me, an inquiry tells me that they have someone in their inner circle who do what I do, okay? So I'm a planner, all right? I'm a planner. So if let's say you are an event designer and this inquiry tells you that someone in her inner circle is also an event designer, okay? If you are a florist and the inquiry tells you someone in the inner circle knows how to make floral arrangements, that's a red flag, okay? That's a red flag. So in this case, I had a situation, or not a situation, I have this scenario, all right, where this inquiry told me that someone in their inner circle is a planner. They have planned events in the past, but is somehow you know, they don't do it as a career or a job, but they on and off, they help to plan events and they like to plan events. Now, the very first question I asked to this inquiry is, do you plan to have this person involved in your event? Do you plan to have this person help you in this event? Why do I want to know? Because I don't need another planner, okay? If you're going to hire me, I'm going to have the final say. I am not going to have another person telling me what to do or what they want to do. So I will ask this. So even before, let's say put it this way, even before I ask, is this person going to be involved in the planning process? The very first question I will ask after they tell me that someone in their inner circle is a planner, the very first question I ask is, why didn't you hire them? Like, why are they not helping you with your event? Why are you contacting me to talk about your event since they are a planner? So now in this case, right, you may be thinking, wow, May, you are ballsy. Okay, you can ask a question that direct. Absolutely. Of course. You have to understand, you have to understand that this is your business, okay? If you are going to spend time and energy qualifying this lead to see whether you want to book this event, you have to make sure that you're making the right decision, because wherever you're saying yes to, you're saying no to something else. Because if you say yes to this event and you don't do your homework and ask the right question, you may end up booking an event that's going to be a nightmare, because we will have more than one chef in the kitchen and it's going to get ugly, okay? So you're not going to ask in a condescending manner, confrontational manner. You're going to ask in a curiosity mode, okay, with a mind of curiosity. So normally when they tell me that who and who is a planner, okay, I will ask, may I ask you a question? about this? And they will be like, sure, of course. So the next question I'm going to ask is, so why are you not going to them to get help to plan this event? Why are you talking to people like me where you have to pay for the service to get help? If this person is in your inner circle, and from what you're telling me that they have the experience to do events, why are you not having them to help you for this event? Now, it is extremely important for you to understand why they decided not to ask them, but yet they tell you that they have a planner in their inner circle. What is the objective of them telling you they have a planner in the inner circle? You want to find out about that, okay? Are they telling you that they have a planner in the inner circle so that they know they're somehow giving you the signal that, so don't BS me because I can verify whatever you're saying with my friend who's a planner, or XYZ in my inner circle is a planner? Are they saying that? Are they giving you the unspoken message? Or they're telling you that, oh, I actually do have someone who can help me with the event in addition to your help? You want to find that out, okay? So I will ask, so why are you talking to me instead of having this person help you? So the answer could be, oh, they don't want to be involved with the entire planning process. They want to help when they want and in certain areas, but not to do the whole thing. Now, that for me is a bigger red flag, okay? Because if I plan something, I do everything. I'm not going to have someone on that team coming on from the client side saying that, hey, I want to do this part of your job, so you go do something else, okay? And then what happens when that happens? That is, they are going to tell your potential client, since I'm going to do this part of the job, go tell the planner not to charge you a full fee because I'm doing that job. You don't have to pay her for that because she is not going to do that part. So she shouldn't be charging you. No, that's not going to happen, okay? Unless this friend who is a planner is doing something that is not something that you would do or not in your job scope, such as, I don't like doing seating arrangements, okay? I don't like doing place cards. And they say that, oh yeah, they just like to do the little decorating stuff. Like they like to look for, they like to source for gifts that we're going to give away to our friends and family. And they like to, they like to write. They're very good handwriting. And they are going to do the calligraphy for it. And they are going to plan for the, it's a destination event. So they are going to be organizing the activities for the out of town friends and family. Oh, okay, no problem. So that area, so they can do it. But I have to be very clear that this person will have no say. This person do not have the authority to tell me what to do, and also to tell me what I'm doing is right or wrong, okay? So I have to be very clear to the potential client that this person needs to stay in their lane and I stay in my lane. They do not intersect. You have to be very clear about that, and you need to explain to your potential client why. Because they may have a different style of planning an event, and I may have different style. If they are going to tell me to plan the event according to their style, then they should have planned the event from the get-go. Then they shouldn't have hired me. So I need the potential client to understand that I am the planner. I am the one who's going to tell people what to do. And she or he, this person, will stay in their lane of what they say they will be doing, that I will have zero involvement. Neither will I be consulting, giving advice, assisting, zero involvement, because that is the area that they say they're going to own. And I will put it very clear on the scope of work, on the contract, that this is not part of the scope of work, okay? And the performance of their friend, family, who's a planner, who's in charge of that area, will not negatively impact the entire experience of this event that I am planning. I need to be so clear about that, because if they don't do what they're supposed to do, and the people overall did not have a good experience, even though I've done my job, it still ruins my reputation. So I have to protect myself, okay? So that's red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, because sourcing vendors takes up a lot of time. When you're sourcing vendors, you have to vet them in terms of their reputation. You have to read the reviews to make sure that they are up to par, they are professional, they do what they're supposed to do, and they're reliable, respectable, and you need to negotiate a contract. So this is a tedious process. And a lot of times I will source for at least 2 to 3 vendors of the same category. So this is a labor-intensive process. Therefore, we charge a good amount of money to do that. And if a potential client or inquiry tells me that my team or I will source for the vendors, you don't have to source for the vendors. I will tell you which vendors to use. Immediately, there's a big red flag. Why? Because you have no control of the quality of the work, okay? Because you, as a planner, you have to make sure that all these people show up and do what they're supposed to do, right? So if they are sourced by the client, okay, or the potential client, the vendors will not regard you as the voice of command, will not see you as the person that they have to follow instruction, because they were not contacted by you. They were contacted by the client. You can tell the client that or the potential client that if you have a particular vendor that you like to work with, I need you to do the introduction, and I will be the main point of communication, not you. I will need to take over the communication and the logistics, and the only involvement that you have is you connect me with them and you tell me that you want to hire them. That's it. It has to be very clear from the get-go that you have full control of this vendor. And I always ask the potential client or the client, okay, that why did you choose this vendor? What made you choose this vendor? Have you worked with this vendor before? Who recommended you this vendor? What did this vendor do for that event or who referred you? Okay, this vendor, what did this vendor do for the event? Is the scope of work or the scale of the event the same as your scale of the event? I have had clients who pick vendors themselves because somebody referred this vendor to them. And then they say, May, I want to use this vendor because my business associate who used them said that they are good, and they're even the skill, who said that they are good, okay? So I said, okay, and I asked these questions. And then I asked them to put me in charge in communication. They did, but the vendor did not perform. When the vendor did not perform, at the end of the day, the event doesn't go well. If the event doesn't go well, who is to blame, right? You're going to say the client, well, that's your vendor. If your client is professional enough, they will take accountability. If not, it's all on you, okay? So when they say that I'm going to bring my own vendor, like, oh, my brother-in-law is a photographer. My aunt is a baker. My uncle owns a catering company, right? Or my friend is a florist. Okay, they have all this all taken care of already. I have got situations like this or events like this that the whole plan is in the events field, so they have connection. No problem. I vet every single one. Just like I vet every single vendor that I source. I'm going to be upfront with the client, with the potential client, that I'm going to put them through the vetting process. Are you open with that? Are you okay with that? Because they can't recommend it. They are good, but they may not be good for your event. Okay? And they probably will either say yes or no, or they say, oh, you know, I trust them. It will be fine. Okay, so then now it's your turn to decide, do you want to take on this inquiry? Do you want to work this event? Because if they say that, oh, I trust them and stuff like that, a lot of times at this point, I will reserve my answer to take on this lead or not after I check out all the vendors. Because if I look at these vendors and I read the reviews and I don't like what I'm seeing, I don't want to do this event because it's going to be a nightmare for me. Okay? All right. So the last red flag that I look out for is, oh, this is a good one. I have never paid so much for a planner, or I've never paid so much for an event, right? So this person comes to me and tells me that I have not paid so much for a planner. And in this case, that's the reality. There's nothing you can do about it. We go back to the qualifying question. Okay? They should already know your fees before they come and talk to you. Even if they know your fees, they are telling you the truth on the conversation through DM or phone call or Zoom that, you know, I know this is how much you charge, but I have never paid so much for this service, a planning service, decorating service, the designing service, whatever. Okay? They're telling you the truth. Now, how do you handle this situation? I don't immediately turn down this lead because this person say that they have never paid so much. When they tell you that they have never paid so much, there are a few things going on in their head. Okay? Is I'm not so sure the results that I want, okay, from this event justify this amount of money to pay you to do this. That means either they are thinking, is there a cheaper solution that can deliver the results instead of paying this much for the results that I want? So that's the very first question. There must be a cheaper solution. Okay? Another thing that goes on in their head is, do I trust this person to deliver the results that I want and pay this much to get to this person to get the results that I want? So in this case, I always ask them to check me out even before they come on the phone or to have a conversation with me or continue with the DMs, okay? Because they need to know what I do, how I do, and the results I deliver, so they can somehow put a value of the results I deliver to the fees that I charge. But many do not do that homework, okay? There will be many who don't do those homework of researching the person only after they have spoken to the person. So the qualifying question number 2, which is, have you spoken to other planners? Have you tried to solve the problem yourself? Is so important because it gives you an idea. If they already have a price tag in their head, they have spoken to someone, and if there's someone is charging 5,000, they say that they can deliver the results, and I'm charging 15,000, I would like to know, why are you still talking to me? Even though you know I charge 15,000 and you already got a price tag of 5,000. Maybe they don't really know my fees because for whatever reason, they missed that information and they come on, and after we spoke and I tell her how much it costs, and in her head, she may already have a price that she went shopping and she got the price. And then I just dropped the bomb on her that I charged 15K. And her first response was, I never paid so much for an event. I never paid so much for a planner, right? And now your job become extremely difficult because reassuring someone, okay, reassuring someone that you are the right fit, there's only this much you can do. You can make her feel comfortable. You can make the potential client feel comfortable. You can show testimonials. You can have a good vibe with them. You can walk them through the whole process, how you're going to make it happen for them. But there is still this objection of, I never paid so much for an event, okay, or for a planner. You can do a good job over here, as what I was saying, that will get you 50% there. But the other 50% is if the gap of what they're willing to pay is 5,000 and you're 15 and you are 15,000, the gap is so huge, okay? And the only way to close this gap is that 50% that you're reassuring them that you can do this, that she can trust you. That will help. And the other 50% is, at the end of the day, they need to see that, they need to believe that the results that they want for that event, it is going to worth paying $10,000 more than the market rate air quote, okay, because they went shopping, or internally how much they want to pay, is justified that they will pay $15,000 for a planner to do this event because they so desperately want the result of the event to be like this. And they will pay whatever it takes to get that result, okay? They have to get to the point by themselves, or you can help them along by talking about the outcome of the event, by talking about how your help is going to produce this outcome, and this outcome is going to have this impact. And how are you going to do that? You have to find out what is the ultimate desire, what is the ultimate motivation for them to have this event. What is the result that they want, that they will say that I will pay whatever it is to get that result. You need to find out that thing, okay? What is extremely important to them about this event, and what do they want the outcome of the event to be, and why they want the outcome to be. How is it going to impact them? How is it going to impact their business? How is it going to impact their relationship with the people at the event? You need to find out all this information, because if you have this information and you're talking about the outcome and the impact that you can get for this person, now the value, your value just increased, because you're no longer just an executor. You are actually the person, or the only person that she knows in the conversation that she had so far with the people around her or other planners, who is able to truly understand that this is the outcome that you want, okay? And that they want, and you're able to get it for them. So now your value just increased, all right? But that's not a done deal, because they have to go through a lot of emotional negotiation. So at this point, it depends on how badly do you want this business. Like for me, if the gap is this big, I wouldn't. Like, I wouldn't waste so much. I wouldn't spend time and energy following up, okay? I will ask a few more questions. I will give this person some homework to do, this potential client some homework to do, and I ask all these questions, and then I will ask them to get back to me. So basically, on the surface, I'm leaving the ball in their court to decide whether they want to continue the conversation with me. So I will ask the person, like, tell me what is the outcome? How do you think you will be able to get this outcome without a planner? Okay, or without the help of someone of my expertise? So I will start asking all these questions and then let them sit and marinate and think about it and then get back to me. Okay, if they get back to me, that means they have already worked on the emotional struggle of closing the gap from 5,000 to 15,000. So I don't have to do so much work. But if they don't get back to me, that means they are still working on it. They are still they could be shopping for a cheaper solution. So I'm not going to waste my time and energy chasing a lead that I'm not sure about. Okay, remember, anytime that you're spending time and energy on something that you're not sure about, you could use the time and energy to chase something that you have a better feeling about. All right, that's how I function. And I don't want, time and energy is so precious, and they don't come back. So I need to protect that. And if they gave me this red flag of I never paid so much for this, I would dig a little bit more before I say no, and then get them to do some work, some reflection, some thinking, and then let them decide. If they want to continue a conversation, come back to me. I will not chase after them, basically. Okay? So hopefully, today's session, we talk about the 3 red flags to look out for when you're talking to a potential client. Let me just do a quick summary. When they tell you that someone in the inner circle is a planner, if you're a planner, they tell you that someone in your inner circle is a planner, or someone in your inner circle is a designer, if you're a designer, or someone in the inner circle is a florist, if you're a florist. That means they tell you someone in the inner circle do exactly what you do. That's a red flag for me. And then the second red flag is they tell me that they are going to source for the vendors themselves, or in the inner circle, they have all these people who do all these different things, and they're going to use them for the event. So that means I have less control of the quality of the work because they are not my vendors. I did not vet them. I did not choose them, and I'm not comfortable about that. And the third red flag is I never paid so much for an event planner, designer, decorator, or for an event. So you will have to learn how to narrow the gap, ask some more questions. What is the outcome? Why they want the outcome? How is the outcome going to impact them? And what is the value they put on the outcome? And then you can narrow the gap by emphasizing how you can get them there, and also emphasizing how is it going to be like if they don't hire a planner, like someone like you who have the expertise, and the people they have spoken to, did they say that they can do it? How do they feel about them? So you need to paint the outcome. So that will help to increase your value, and they will come to the conclusion that it is worth the investment to get the outcome that they want. Okay, so this session is great because it's sales focused, right? It's talking about qualifying, identifying red flags, about how to paint the outcome, and get the potential client to come to the point to say that you are the person that I want to hire. So you can have the best. I cannot stress this enough. All right. I'm so glad that I'm feeling so much better. Today's a good day that I can speak in my regular tone and not out of voice, out of breath. So I'm still healing, but I'm definitely on the mend. I'm so happy. So if you can be the most skillful planner, designer, decorator, right? These are all skills focused. But if you can't sell and you cannot close, then your skill is a hobby. It's a great hobby that you can be fulfilled when you do events. But if you're thinking of having a business, right? Turning your passion, your skill, your talent into money, you need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to qualify. You need to learn how to sell, and you need to learn how to close. And this is the part that I see apart from the marketing as well. Okay, marketing, sales all goes together. So you can be a great marketer, but if you don't know how to sell, you're done. So if I have to pick to become a good marketer or a good salesperson, I will pick sales anytime, hands down. And that's the reason why I took a sabbatical many years ago to do cold call sales, high ticket cold call sales. That's where I learned the sales psychology. That's where I learned how to qualify leads. That's when I learned how to ask qualifying questions and identify buying signals and close leads. And if you don't know how to sell, you don't know how to qualify, you don't know how to identify buying signals, and you don't know how to close, you don't have a business. Okay. But all hope is not lost. All hope is not lost. If this is one area that you have a hard time with, check out in the show notes our 24 course bundle, business kickstart bundle at $24. I have a whole module focused on slaying sales. I have videos, role play, videos of myself talking to a potential client, and you see me in action, the questions that I ask, and also role plays to guide you along. This is something that you need to practice. Practice, practice, practice. But you don't get it right the very first time because you get nervous, right? And there's other things that come into play, like your relationship with money. How desperate do you want to sell? What questions to ask? All this comes with practice. If you can't have a good handle of that, this video is going to give you the head start. All right. And you also have an opportunity to be in our life support community where you get to ask questions. In a community, ask me, ask the people in the community, how do you answer a question like this? How do you qualify a lead like this? So we not only have the course module for you, so you can watch it anytime you want and learn, we also have the support that comes together with it. So make sure you check out in the show notes the Business Kickstart bundle at $24 for 24 courses that not only have the whole sales module, but it has the other business fundamental that's going to help you to start, launch, and grow your business from pricing for profit, marketing, business legality, digital portfolio, mindset and productivity hacks. These are what you need to have a thriving business. So don't forget to check that out. I am so happy to be able to complete this episode without losing my breath. Today is a great day for me to be able to teach this particular topic because I think that is so important, especially when it comes to not wasting your energy on dud leads, right? Okay, if you have enjoyed today's episode, make sure that you gave me a rating, a review, and also share our podcast to other entrepreneurs that you think will benefit from what I share in this episode. Thank you so much, everyone. Talk to you again next week.